Oh man, look at here, look at here, look at here. The final banner of 2022 is dropping, or has dropped earlier today. Wait, my bad. Hold on. Technically, this isn't the final banner because we do have the All-Star banner coming out. But this is technically the final banner in terms of like unique banners, I guess, because the All-Star banner, we always get that at the end of the year, but this isn't a banner that we always get, which of course means we have to do one final should you summon, which I'm technically lying. I'm also going to be doing one for the All-Star banner. And originally, this is actually when the boy Emperor was supposed to come out. Of course, you guys all know Emperor released a few weeks ago, so it's kind of stupid for them to re-release him so soon after his debut. And because of that, they just said, yeah, we're not going to do that. And they made a whole new banner. This new banner will feature characters that you saw during Act 3, such as Groitz, Emmy, Batiste, Noelle, the final one, Marika, which maybe you guys could already infer just from that list alone. There isn't a new unit. Every single character on this banner is actually a reprint unit or, a re-release unit. The question is it actually worth going for this banner or is it worth completely skipping? Let's talk about the two boss characters, Groitz and Emmy. There are some people out there that are masochists and they enjoy using these characters and trying to make them work. I myself just think that the revelation mechanic for both of them just isn't really it. I think it works better for Emmy than it does with Groitz. The reason being is because Groitz is actually similar to that of Joker Celia, where they inflict status effects and they ramp up their damage depending on how many status effects that they've inflicted throughout the quest. For him, it's poison, and the only thing that poisons in his entire kit is his skill and then of course his boss skills and his boss form. However, he is so ridiculously slow. I'll tell you that right now. That is the problem with both of the boss characters. They take forever, and I mean forever, to do any of their boss skills, and it just sucks. Even though their skills do hit pretty hard, they all have relatively high multipliers on them, it's just not really worth it. You would be better off using any other character that just is a hard hitter that could do a similar job. The only reason why you would use Emmy or Groitz, in my opinion, is if you just like the boss mechanic because it's different, which, hey, if that's the case, knock yourself out. But for everybody else, I don't think these two characters are necessarily worth summoning for or necessarily worth the crystals alone. They're decent, but I would just tell you, if you really want them, wait till they're like in a forever summon and just get them in a forever summon to try them out. Now, Batiste is actually, do I want to say a dying breed? It feels like it, at least. We never get ramping damage dealers anymore, really. The ramping damage dealers that do come out are practically so broken to where they're not even really ramping at that point. They can kind of just do it on their own without any extra help. I love Batiste a lot. The only bad part is I can't use him that much because I mainly only use him in the mines, which is a very highly competitive market, let me say. The characters running around like Joker Celia, you're going to be having Cosmo running around as well. It's hard to be able to fit Batiste onto a team a lot of the times. If you're able to do it and you want to make a team around him, I definitely think that it's still worth it because he's just so much fun. He's very flashy and he does deal tons and tons of damage. Next is Noelle. Now, Noelle, I feel like, has kind of fallen off a little bit. He has a cool mechanic, which is actually sticking vectors into his enemy. Every single time you pop his skill, he drives a vector into his enemy, which is on a 10-second cooldown. If you pop his art, this buffs up his skill CT speed and also gives him art gauge, which is very beneficial. And then with the true art, he's able to deal 40,000% light damage physical, but depending on how many vectors you have in the enemy, you will also increase this art damage by 50%. So a whopping 300% if you have all vectors stacked into an enemy. It's kind of similar to what I said about Batiste with Noelle. It's just that there are some characters in the game now that are just straight better and just faster that you may have, and you may consider their gimmicks like kind of a nuisance, but it is a different way to play the game. It's interesting, it's cool, it's fun. So if you want to do it, hey, knock yourself out. Finally, we have the girl Marika, which is actually a fairly recent unit. She came out a few months ago, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago on Global. She's able to buff up everybody's break power by 25% and everybody's break power to weak element enemies, which what that means is like if you're a fire unit fighting an earth unit, of course you have the advantage. So she would give you that 25% extra break power. On top of this as well, with the true art, she's able to buff up everybody's damage, and during break, she autofills everyone's art gauge by 10. To be Marika nowadays, just kind of comes off as a weaker version of Strength. She's definitely not a terrible unit, but not really a unit for me. And also, if I'm using a breaker, I'm probably just going to be using someone with better slots for breaking since she doesn't have a 5-star physical or a 4-star physical. And that is the entire banner. That's all of them, ladies and gentlemen. Every single last one of them, which means we are now at the end of this. Should you summon or should you not? And I'm going to tell you right now, I wholeheartedly believe this banner is a complete skip. It's not really appealing. It's not offering any type of major power to your account. And it's more so just offering you some solid characters that are pretty fun to mess around with. And that's pretty much it. If I was you and you wanted to summon on something, even though like it's not out yet, I would say just screw it and save for the All-Star banner if you wanted to do anything. And even with that one, I wouldn't recommend everyone summoning on that banner because, well, I'll talk about it in the should you summon for the All-Star banner. But either way though, fam, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. If you enjoyed this video, highly recommend check out either one of the videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you'll love them. And oh yeah, before you leave, don't forget to drink water.